Hi, Suzanne. You're muted. There you go.
Yay.
Yay. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
You know, you throw the best birthday parties. And you
I've had
actually,
a lot of practice.
yeah, you do have a lot of practice. You are you're the best at that, and they look like they're so much fun and everybody enjoys them. So that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, you guys hanging in there okay?
Yeah, how about you?
Yeah, it feels like a long slog, and today was so dark and so wet that it's just, I was looking forward. This is the big event of the day.
Yeah, well, same for me too. I haven't been anywhere.
Right. Yeah. No, I went to Jed and Black today to help my mom. They're up in Anacortes, of course, but their cooktop quit on them while I was
Oh,
there about a week ago. And so um, they got it looked at today, and it's $700 to fix it or $1,100 to buy a new one. So,
might as well buy the new one, right?
so yeah, I went to Jed Black and got one, and hopefully it'll get installed before Christmas. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard with stuff like that. I mean, we
Yeah.
had our bathroom, we just got it remodeled, but we
Uh-huh.
to have a better setup for Rachel. But
Right.
it was we set it up the appointment on July 23rd, and we just got it done last week. So
Wow.
that was a long wait. But
Well,
I mean, it's hard to get, people to, they're just so backed up, I guess.
well, it took me from February to August to get a design firm to finish drawings to convert my garage or carport to a garage. And then the city came back on September 23rd and said, we need these corrections. And then that took me another month to get the corrections done. And so I was just able to send in the new drawings. Meanwhile, back in February, I thought this thing was going to go really quick. And I made a big mistake, but I've corrected it now. So I've got the garage door for it.
Yeah.
I've got the roughed in construction done. I've got the roughed in electrical. I just don't have a building permit yet. So,
oh man.
So I've been kind of living with that, and every now and then it bothers me. But then I think, well, there's much bigger things to worry about these days. So
true. Yeah.
It'll get done. So glad you got your project done. So
yeah, we got that one done. We also had to have our house, the foundation. Lifted, so that was a big deal too. That took quite a few months to get it done, but finally the house on the one corner that's kind of I have a hill, started kind of slipping, and we lost about 3.5 inches.
Oh my goodness.
They had to lift it up one side of the house and the other side, and get it close. We're still not at zero, but we're closer.
Oh my goodness, that had to have been just an incredible project to watch happen. So.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad I didn't have to do it. But yeah, they had to actually manually dig some of the holes, because the fill that they used here was these giant rocks. I mean, like really big. They should have used like gravel or something, but that's probably why it shifted. So it was, they worked hard.
Yeah. Well, oh my goodness.
And then they drill, and they had to go down about, I think he said about 16 feet to hit bedrock on one corner. So it's a long way.
Yeah, and you can't. There's no way to get out of needing to do something like that. I mean, you got to. I mean, there's
pretty much. Yeah, it was like if you put a pencil on the counter, it would just roll to the other end of the house.
Not good. Not good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got those done. That's great.
Yeah. I'm glad we got it done, for sure. I know now when I cook, I'm saying I'm a better cook now, because I used to.
Oh, because it's
even. I don't think it's
Great.
really worked, but I'm gonna. Yeah, all the oil would go to one side of the pan, like if I was sautéing or something. It would just,
Uh-huh.
you know. So it's even now.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, did you get have you been working on your rug? Okay.
No, I mean, I got my grid, so
Yeah.
hopefully I did that right. It's going to be a long, skinny one, and I have all my selvage. I cut all the strings off.
Yeah, I've got a little bit more to go on the salvage, and I got my grid, so that's where I'm at too. Okay.
That took a long time to cut all that.
I'm gonna back you up a little bit here so you can actually see my hands and what I'm doing.
So you can see.
Okay, so who's decided to do, is anybody decided that they want to try doing a round one? Melissa or Monica?
I thought about it, but how big a round one does it make?
Well, it depends on, you probably have enough to make 2 of them about this big around.
So about what? One and
About
a half
2
or
24 inches.
24 inches?
Oh, yeah.
And how long would it make, how big would it make a rectangle?
Well, let me grab. So here's my rectangle rug. It's 2 feet by 2 feet.
So it's square.
This weighs about 2.3 pounds, and you've got about 5 to 6 pounds in your bag.
Okay.
So you could make 2 this size. You
Okay.
could make 1 this size, and you could make a round one too, probably.
Or like Delia was saying, make a scarf.
Be pretty thick.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Towel
The-
kind of thing.
the technique that I'm going to teach you, you can adapt it to whatever pattern you want, but I will show you both how to start a round one and how to do a rectangular one.
Okay.
So the first thing you'll want to do is make sure you leave a plenty of a tail, because you're going to want to have enough that you can weave it back in to make this appear. And you'll start with making a very loose slip knot. Does everybody know how to make a slip knot?
Can you show us? Can you show? Yeah.
Yep. Okay, to make a slip knot, you're going to, I can't do it when I'm thinking about it. Fold it over, right? So you've got a little loop,
Mhm.
and then just reach through the loop and pull the string.
Okay.
Then you have a slip knot.
Okay.
So long as your tail is stable and you're pulling your loose off your ball.
I'm not getting it.
Okay, well, let's try it again. So first, take your selvage like this, right? And then twist it.
Sharon, wait, which one is the loose one? The tail or the one that's attached to the ball? Like we can't see the bottom.
Okay, here's my loose one.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna grab it with this hand and I'm gonna twist it, right? And now I'm gonna go through the hole that's away from the side that the tail goes over. I'm gonna go over here, reach through, grab the selvage and pull.
How much tail do you need? This much?
As long as you got like at least 5 or 6 inches. So you want to make sure with your first loop, so I'm going to do it again. When you reach through, here's the tail. I'm going to reach through around the tail, and I'm going to pull from the side that's going to the ball. So that when I tighten it, this tightens the loop the knot around the loop, this makes the loop bigger or smaller. The one going to the ball makes the loop bigger or smaller. That's how it has to be.
First, you gotta find the end of it.
Okay.
Wait, what?
That was our homework, Melissa.
Okay,
Well, you got my dog all tangled up in it now.
so Sharon, when you say the one going to the ball, you mean that's just the opposite of the absolutely free end?
So,
That's correct.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Does
Sharon?
anybody not figure out the slip knot part?
As I'm tugging, with the ball, I'm getting gaps in my, because I had gaps all the way through. This stuff's, just lost.
I wouldn't worry about it quite yet. If you've got a gap that's like 2 inches, then I would 2 inches, 3 inches. I might cut it and tie a knot right there. But if you've got a little bit of a gap, don't worry about it because
all through my
it'll get
selvage.
hidden. And you know what?
Huge.
I'm gonna have to get my headphones because my speaker on my computer is not working very well.
so is this one big circle when you first start out? So it
No,
doesn't have an end?
yeah, as an end.
It has an end?
Headphone.
I've yet to find it.
Yeah, they're hard to find.
It's got mine had multiple ends.
Really?
I had-
Mine doesn't
really?
have an end.
I had 4 different balls.
What I think about that.
Oh,
Leave them
wow.
alone.
Just goes on and on and on.
No.
Yeah, I'm on my 4th ball, so.
Did anybody else have feet and feet? I like literally a good foot here, a good foot there, just blank spots.
Oh, No. You mean where the fringe is gone?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
She just has places where there's just the strings that go back and forth, but not this part.
Yeah.
I found that in some of the different selvages.
Yeah, I had tons of it, and I spent probably 14 hours
Oh
pushing
my
it down
God.
so that I could make. Yeah, I
I'm on a
spent
rug making class.
a significant amount of time trying to make it so it was a continuous string.
Oh, darn it. Well,
No wonder I have.
She said she's
I
gonna be on a
could do it.
meeting with him.
hey, Melissa.
Yeah.
No, Melissa Hogler, could you mute if you're going to talk? Because we
Oh.
can't hear.
Dude, I didn't know I would.
Sorry. It's okay. Hi, Nicole. Or that isn't Nicole. Hi, Teddy. Hi, Teddy.
Hi,
I'm
Teddy.
like, I'm telling her, I'm muted. Don't worry, I'm muted.
You're not muted,
Whoops. Glad we weren't talking secret stuff.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Bev, Bev, can you see me through that cloud? You and I can talk a little bit more about how you can deal with your spaces. Okay. So, everybody's got their slip knot. Anybody having a problem making their slip knot?
I don't think so.
Okay. Now, wish this was, I'm going to move over here and then just, since you don't have to see down. Okay, that's better. I'm going to put my fingers through the slip knot. Here's the short end. Here's the ball end. I'll put my fingers through the slip knot and I'm going to grab.
Did it freeze on anybody else or just me?
Just you.
I'm good.
Oh, are we recording now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Yes. it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Fingers through the slip knot. Grab the selvage. Pull out a loop that's about the same size as the slip knot. You want me to do that again?
Yeah.
Okay, here's your slip knot. Here's the short end. Fingers through the slip knot. Grab the selvage. Pull a loop through. It's about the same size as your slip knot was. So all that we're going to do is we're going to make a chain stitch out of this. So after you've got that first loop, then stick your fingers through the hole again.
Sorry, my tail got super long when I tried to
That's
make
okay.
a smaller loop, and I think I made my initial loop wrong because it's way too tight now.
Oh,
I don't want to hold the class up, but
So Sharon, I'm trying to get an idea of how big the loops are, or how sort of loose or whatever. This is what,
I'm putting about 4 fingers through the hole.
okay. Okay, yeah, got it. Thanks.
Important not to make them, don't make them really tight or else you won't be able to keep going.
Right,
Okay.
okay.
I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna put my fingers through the hole. Make sure my loop isn't too big or isn't too small, about the same size. And then grab the next one and then keep going.
So it's not like you're having to snug it up or anything
You
afterward.
don't want to snug it up. It's going to look
Yeah.
like this. And see all the holes and spaces?
Well, it's a little blurry, but yeah,
It
yeah.
needs to be, it
Okay.
needs to be loose.
Yeah, got it.
And you could take it out and start again. You could just practice with this, unless you've got really fragile stuff like Bev might have. She may have a hard time taking it back and forth. But you'll get a little bit of a feel for what your loops need to look like. Now, if I'm doing a,
Not snug. It was loose. Yeah. Okay. I think I have half as many.
did you get your loop started, Melissa?
I have this one. Yeah.
Okay, it's got to be a lot smaller.
Oh, okay.
It's only got to be enough so you could put like 3 fingers through it. To tighten it, you should be pulling the selvage side that's connected to the
Right.
ball.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey. Oh, hold on. I'm going to mute for a second. I think Wyatt's walking in.
How long of a chain are we starting with, Sharon?
I think this is the start of the whole thing.
Off that counter.
It depends on how
Counter girl.
big your project is.
No.
So would you say about this big right here?
That's too big.
No.
This is still too big?
Yeah, it's supposed to be, it's more like this big. See how I put all
Oh,
4
gotcha.
of my
Okay.
fingers
Yeah,
together?
yeah.
Like that. It's a little bit bigger than what I need to stick my 2 fingers or put my pincher fingers through and pull a loop.
Okay. And is it okay if my tail is this long? Does it
Yep.
matter?
Nope, that's fine. Okay.
Okay, so I got that, and now I'm gonna grab the long end.
What do we do when we just go till we get to the end of our grid?
Oh, that's right. The grid.
Sharon, do we stop at the end of our grid? Oh, she's talking.
Hold on just a second.
Do you count the chain?
What?
I can't count the.
Okay, I'm back.
Do we stop at the end of our grid?
The grid, your,
Yes.
how long you want it.
No.
So some people
So
may,
let's
we-
say you want your blanket or your rug 24 inches wide. You'll measure it on your grid. And when it gets to the end of the 24 inches, then you'll stop. And D, if you were going to do a scarf that was about this wide or something,
good.
you would want to make the chain stitch the length of whatever you wanted your scarf to be.
See, this is actually a chain, and then I did kind of a single or double crochet. I don't know, can you see that?
Ah, she's way ahead of us.
Well, but I have a hard time trying to figure out a single chain, a double chain, or,
Yeah, you don't want to do double. It's all single.
Yeah, but I figured this would work. It's wider on one end than the other. And Lois has been experimenting more than I have.
Ah. Okay,
I'm
This is gonna
starting.
be a
I know.
you're doing great, Lois. Okay, so
This good, Sharon? I don't know. Is this
who's talking?
Melissa?
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Okay,
that looks good.
okay.
Okay, I'm gonna put a couple more in here because I'm just doing a demo here. Because I'm gonna take this out and show you how to do a round one too.
What if some of them are, I mean, are they all supposed to be approximately the same size? So I take them out if they're not? If they,
They
Yeah, probably.
approximately the same size, but
okay.
this project gives you a lot of forgiveness because you won't even be able to tell.
Yeah, it's pretty hairy.
Yep. Okay, so let's say I'm making my rug 13 inches long. This is my 13-inch, and I'm measuring to not the end of this loop, but the end of the loop right before it. So here's the long side of my project. As soon as I get that done, I'm going to put 2 more stitches in.
That would
Same
be,
kind of stitch.
2 more chain stitches.
Is she doing the round?
So our finished length plus 2 more?
That is correct.
Okay.
Your finished width plus 2 more. And then I'm going to turn the loop around, or turn the whole project around so that now it's in my left hand and the tail's in my right. And I'm going to flip over. I'm going to ignore the first stitch right here. That was the last stitch I just put in. I'm going to reach through here, and I'm going to find a hole just about there. And I'm going to take this loop, fold it in half, and I'm going to put it through that hole.
What? Can you do that again?
Okay, so here's the end of my chain stitch. Here's the loop on the end. I put 2 extra stitches in there.
Yep.
I'm going to fold it over. I'm going to find a hole at least 1 chain stitch away from where I am. I'm going to pinch this loop, and I'm going to put it from the top through that hole. It doesn't matter which hole you choose.
that's where you make your corner.
Yep, I just made
And
my
now we
corner.
have a smaller hole, a smaller,
Yeah, that's why you got to start with a big hole.
now we have a smaller handle. Yep, okay.
Yep. Okay. Now I'm going to bring my, this is the end that's attached to the ball because we're ignoring the other end. I'm going to make a loop in this, a not too big loop, and I'm going to put it through the hole from my side going away from me.
Like this?
Mhm. And you're going to go down the other side of your project.
Oh, I got it. I got
Now I
it.
have, so now I have this loop, right? It's got to be long enough so that I can find the next hole, which is probably the hole in the next chain stitch, but it doesn't really matter if it is or isn't because you won't be able to tell. And I'm going to push that through from my side towards away from me.
The tail or the loop? The loop?
The loop. Yeah, we're not doing anything more with the tail. We're only
Ever?
talking.
Okay.
No, we'll weave it in later. You just have to make sure that you've got enough of a loop here.
No, I don't mean the tail. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean,
Oh, okay.
we're using the loop that we stuck down and weaving that through, but not this piece that's going to my big ball.
Correct. So I'm going to take this loop.
Yeah, I need to see it again.
Okay, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to take
Right.
this loop. I'm pinching the loop. I'm finding a hole in the next, probably the next hole that I can find, the next chain stitch hole. And I'm going to bring this loop towards me. I'm going to push it through the hole so it's away from me. And now I have a little loop. It's the same loop, right?
The same loop, okay.
And now I'm taking this end, I'm making a second loop, like you're tying your shoes, and I'm going to push it through that hole.
Okay.
Now, this is the loop I'm working with.
Oh, this is a mess. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot I was not muted. Mine's just a mess.
Well, I
Sorry.
just need a little bit of help to make sure I'm doing this right.
Okay, let me see, Melissa.
Well, it's,
So this is
Yeah.
where I got so far. And now I take this one and I have just enough, like 4 fingers, right, in there. And I'm going to make a loop and I'm going to stick that loop through.
Yes.
And now I have this loop.
Have you turned the corner?
No, I haven't even got that far yet.
Oh,
So
yes.
I have these 4 fingers in that one and I just keep doing it and shoving it through.
Yes.
Okay.
Might- your loops might need to be just a tiny bit smaller. But they'll be fine.
Squeeze them up a bit. So maybe start from the beginning because it's too big, would you say?
You know, just keep doing it for now. You can always take it out and quickly do it again if you decide that it's too loose.
Oh, I'd rather start over now.
Okay,
If I'm
then
gonna get this
start
thing
over
going.
now. And Laura,
So basically you don't want any holes. You don't want to see.
Yeah.
And
you could see holes. It's okay. You're never going to notice because
yeah, let's see what the finished, like, density of it is, or you can definitely see
Okay,
light
so-
behind.
that's quite tight.
no, look. It only looks tight
Oh,
because
Yeah,
there's
it's a little hard with the light.
Because it's hard.
look at these big holes. It's got big holes everywhere.
Sharon, hold it still for a second because it's fuzzy. Don't move for a sec. Let it focus. There you go.
See how big the holes are?
Yeah,
It's got, but it doesn't look like there's big holes, does it?
there's
no.
all the,
It's because of all the fringe. But when I put this, look at this hole right here. Hi.
Yeah.
yeah, not a good face mask.
Look at the ones on the edge.
It's a perfect rug.
So I've got plenty of big holes. So it's,
Okay.
The biggest holes.
when I took this class, my teacher kept saying, make it looser and you'll have an easier time making it. If you make it tight, you're just going to make yourself miserable.
Right.
So looser is a little better.
I think something happened to mine. It doesn't quite look right.
Let me see. Let me make you big.
Doesn't quite look right.
Hold on.
It's got a bump or something.
Hold it up. What happened here?
I don't know.
Okay, well, you need to go undo it back to there.
I was trying to turn the corner and it didn't come out quite right or something.
Okay. So go back to the length of your chain stitch is the width of your, whatever your project is.
Right.
Okay.
So once we've gotten around the corner and we did that first loop through the loop, then I guess that's where we are
Okay.
now.
So
I just have kept going with the same thing. That's what I do, right?
it's the same exact thing.
Could
I'm
you
gonna
just, yeah.
take my
reach
loop.
back in? Yeah.
I'm going to squeeze my loop. I'm going to push it through a hole from my body away from me. And then I've got a loop here. And then I grab my selvage, the end connected to the ball. I make a little loop with that and I push it through that loop. And then here's my new loop. Now this is the loop I'm working with.
And it doesn't matter if I skip a loop because
Nope, it doesn't matter, Bev.
I'm like ready to make my second turn. Does that look right?
Let me make you big. Hold on.
I got,
Yes, that does look right, Bev.
I'm shocked.
I know.
myself.
So I guess I need it one more time because I'm having trouble I made the turn, but I'm not getting the next sequence
Let me
right.
see. Let me see yours.
Well, so I've got this loop over here and I keep thinking I need to put it through here.
Wait, so go back to, do you still have one chain stitch?
I had just done a couple. I can go back to
Go back to your width of your project plus 2 chain stitches, and then we'll
Okay.
go from there.
Okay,
So I'm
yeah,
gonna
'cause
take mine-
because I
I'm going to
got,
take mine back out to the corner because the corner is a hard one.
Yeah.
okay, I feel like I'm back there.
Okay, so anybody who just has their chain stitch plus 2 stitches
Yeah,
wider than their project, we're going to start from there.
okay,
Okay.
Here, my project, all it is a chain.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to take this loop, the loop at the end. It's got to be about that big, and I'm going to pinch it, and then I'm going to fold it over. I'm going to find a hole
Okay,
that's about 1 chain stitch away, and I'm going to push that loop through the chain stitch until it's on the other side.
okay,
Okay.
After it's on the other side, I'm going to take this hand and I'm going to pinch another loop in my long one that's connected to the ball. So now I have 2 loops. I'm going to take the loop in my right hand and I'm going to push it through the loop in my left hand.
and so that's the loop connected to the ball.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and you push that through.
And now I have a new loop. Now I can tell I'm at the right loop because if I wanted to make this loop bigger,
Uh-huh,
it's connected to my ball.
right, okay.
Oh, I'm lost right there.
Okay.
And then,
Sorry.
and then that loop you take and put through another one on
That
the
loop,
name,
I'm going to pinch again.
right?
I'm going to find the next hole. Look at this big giant hole right here.
Okay,
I might not go through that hole. I might turn this a little bit and go through that hole.
okay,
I'm going to push it through that hole. And now I've got that loop. I'm going to make another loop out of the ball end and push it through that hole.
push it through that one, okay.
Yep.
And
Don't
then-
worry if it doesn't look like, if it looks like it's just making a rat's nest, you're doing it right.
Okay, then you
It'll,
just,
I must
it'll
be,
start making shape. It'll start making some shape later. Let's see, where's Laura? I can't see. Laura.
Right here. Oh,
I can't see you. Oh,
I,
okay, Laura, let me see your project. Okay, let me see.
this is hooked to my ball.
Okay,
This is the end of my project. So I just turned a corner and I'm coming.
Let me see the very start of your project where the little tail is on it. Okay, that's good. And then we go along, keep going along until we get to, what's
See,
that
now-
loop right there?
I'm coming back the other way with this loop, right?
Okay, have you just, wait, that
I've done
doesn't
it
look
like
right.
3 times. Okay, let me pull it out.
So go back to where you're right, just back to your chain stitch. All you have is your chain stitch. You haven't turned a corner or done anything else.
Okay,
are you,
I've got 2 chain stitches then passed.
Okay, very good. Just let me take mine out. So I
I'm
can,
on one row. Are you on further than that? You're still going back to your, on your
Yeah.
second row, right?
okay. Here I am, my last chain stitch at the end of my chain stitch.
Would you
My
say
last loop.
which thing is in what hand, left or right? 'Cause
My beginning of my project is in my left hand, the chain stitch is in my left hand, the loop is in my right hand.
Oh,
Oh, I have it the opposite.
backwards.
Are you left-handed or right-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay, then this would probably be the easiest.
I was doing it the opposite too, Laura, and I just went with it and didn't think about it. And
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think I could do it the other way, but that's just how my brain works. Okay, Laura, take the loop and pinch
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Fold the chain stitch over itself and find a hole at least one chain stitch away
Yes.
and push that loop through the hole.
Down, through, and out.
Yep.
Okay.
From your body away from you. Now let me see what it looks like.
I don't know.
Yes.
Lois,
Your chain stitch looks, might be a little too loose.
keep doing the same routine. It's just like
Okay.
Okay, now
Lois.
you
when
should
you're-
look like this. You should be holding the loop that just went through in your left hand. And then
pulling
you've got the ball end in your right hand, and you're gonna make a loop with that. So you have a loop here and a loop here, like you're gonna tie your shoe. Let me see what you're doing while you're doing it. Okay,
Loop. Now I make a loop out of this.
yep, a little tiny loop, the same size
Yeah.
about. Now you're
Yeah.
gonna take the loop in your right hand.
Yeah.
I can't tell.
Oh.
You're going to take the loop that you just made
Yeah.
and you're going to push it through the first loop.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Another. Oh,
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm going to take that loop
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to go to the next chain stitch and I'm going to find a hole and push it through.
Okay.
Now my new loop is coming out here and I'm making a second loop with the ball side. This would be so much easier if you guys were all sitting around the dining room table.
it just
Oh.
do the same thing over and over, right? When you get to the end of the first row
Yep.
or second row, do you just make 2 single stitches again and turn another corner?
Yes, but you are going to, just like in crocheting, you're not going to go right back into the very end stitch, because if you do, your blanket will go like this. It'll get bigger and bigger. So you have to, let me get to the end and I'll show you, Bev.
Okay.
So I've just put that through. Now I'm making another loop. I'm putting it through that loop.
to the end to keep your going.
yeah.
To complete your second row. You're doing it.
Yeah, I'm more of a perfectionist, and this really stretched me to have this mess of a,
This is really.
Yeah, with the fringe so long, it's even hard to sort of see where you are.
I know. You don't have to worry about that so much. You just got to let go. This is an exercise in letting go.
It really is.
This is actually a perfect craft for me because I get frustrated if it has to be perfect. So
Ah,
Karen, can I ask a question?
absolutely.
Okay, so I wanted my length to be 24 inches long,
Okay.
right? And that's okay. So I did the 24 inches, and then you said do two more after that.
Yep.
To make the corner. So I've got, let me see. Yeah. So that's this. So I'm now at that point to turn
Okay.
the corner. And
So
I'm
you're
sorry,
gonna-
because I know you've instructed this
It's
already.
okay. So you're going to take that loop that's in your, that's your right hand, right?
Correct.
And you're going to pinch it. Take your
Pinch
fingers out
this.
of it and pinch it. Boy, your fingernails look nice.
Thank you.
Pinch it. And now you're going to fold that loop over the chain stitch and go down the chain stitch at least one stitch.
Okay.
Yeah, let go of the tail completely.
Like maybe in here, this one?
Yes, sure. And take it and you're going to push that through from your body away from you.
That might be 2 instead of 1.
It's okay. It's okay. Just
Should I go
use
into
that
the
one.
that one here?
Use
Okay.
that one. Okay.
Push it through.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Now, it'll help if you don't turn your project. You just flip
I'm
your
sorry.
project. No, I'm saying it'll help you if you
Oh,
don't turn
okay.
your project. So put the tail. Yes, there you go. Keep your
The
tail.
tail. This is the
on-
tail.
No, that's your chain. That's your chain.
There's
Oh,
God.
this is the tail.
Keep your ball
You
end.
might have to nuke it.
It'll be perfect.
Keep your ball end. And switch hands. Keep. Let's see. Which one is your right hand?
My right hand.
Okay.
This is my right hand.
Yes. So grab
So
the
this is
loop with
when
your
I-
left hand. Yep. Now
Okay.
grab the ball end with your right hand and make a little loop that looks just like that loop. Yep. Now push that loop through that hole.
This one through here.
That is correct.
Okay. And I'm starting a new.
Now you're going to take that loop and you're going to go down your chain stitch that direction towards the tail end of your chain stitch.
You're doing it. You're doing it
So I
great.
keep finding a new hole.
Yes, down that way. Just make sure
Gotcha.
you're going that way. So now you're going to keep going.
Like this next
next
hole
one.
here. I'm going to push it through.
Yeah, but you're pushing it through from away from you to towards you. You just got to be
Okay.
consistent. Either push it from your body away from you through the hole or bring it the other way, but just do it the same way each time.
Yeah.
So we did this, the way we did it last time was you're going to take that loop, you're going to find the next hole, and you're going to push it from your body away from you through the hole.
I'm doing that.
Okay.
You're taking, that's your solid and this is your stretch.
Yeah, you're doing good.
This
An air flap.
from my body.
Okay, you know, you're
away
confused.
from me into the hole. Okay.
You're confused because that the ball end is in your way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you
You
build
kind of, what happened? Oops, that's me on it.
Can we touch on what we're supposed to do? I have to quit working with this. My hands are on fire.
It needs to be flat.
This is all I can
Okay.
manage for one
It's-
night.
Stay flat. Because I think you rolled around on this one. Won't
That's
matter
okay. And Bev,
other than
Bill,
trying to stay flat.
Michelle set me up with this Zoom account
It is flat,
so
it
I
just
can do
rolled
this
up
anytime.
I
on
can't
these-
hear you because
Lois?
other people are talking.
Lois,
Yeah.
can you please mute?
I muted him, Sharon.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Anyway, Bev, I'm happy to sit with you another time on video
Okay.
and we can keep going on your project so you don't have to wait till the next class, okay?
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can-
because
you
I
can just-
think I have a time limit before I discovered I'm allergic to the wall in this whole process.
Right?
So, yeah.
Yeah, what's the deal? So, yeah, just handling the wool is hurting you? I mean, is,
Yeah, I had a rash all up and down my arms and across my face and
bad for you.
right.
Oh,
Who else?
You're
So
fucking,
I'm wearing gloves, but it's starting to penetrate
yeah.
the gloves. So I think I have it was doing okay, but now it's starting to burn. So good night, ladies. It
Wow.
was
Okay.
fun.
Can I just let me know when you want to get together. I'm pretty available.
I am doing a charity run with Ross's fraternity this week, so I'll set something up for next week.
That sounds good.
Okay. Night, everyone.
Good
Night,
night.
Deb.
Yeah, this
Okay,
definitely feels like a rat's nest situation.
it's okay. You just keep going. It'll start taking shape.
So you make a slip knot and push that through the, I mean, I've gone around the corner and I'm coming back. So I make my loop, I stick it through the body of the strand
Yep.
from front to back, and then I grab another loop off of my free.
Yep. And
Okay, and then stick it through and then loop it through. Okay, I think I
now,
got it.
when I get to the end, so here's my first row. Can you see
Yeah.
how wonky it looks?
Yeah.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
That's okay.
It's okay. Now, here I am at the end of my first row. I'm going to turn my project around. Looks like a fuzzy caterpillar. And so my tail's here. I'm going to make a chain stitch. And then I'm going to make another chain stitch. And this is how I turn my corner. So I'm at the end of my second row. I've made 2 chain stitches. And now I'm going to take this loop and I'm going to pinch it. I'm going to make sure that my tail end that I started with is down, so I know I'm working at the top of my project. And then I'm going to go and look for a hole that's about 3 inches in, maybe even
Okay.
4 inches in. And you'll find that, oh, hey, the holes aren't as easy to find now.
Right.
And they're tight. So that's why you got to do it loose, because it seemed really loose the first time. But when you get to that second row, now suddenly it's tight. So that's why you have to make sure you give it plenty of extra. So now I've started my next row and I just make a loop, take that loop, find a hole, push it through, pull that loop through, use this end to make another loop, push it through, take that loop, find the next hole, push it through. You might have to really work to find a hole. You just want to find a hole near the top of the project so that you're not turning the whole thing into just a giant ball. So there's my next loop. And so I'm even having a hard time finding a hole. If I have to, I skip over one if it's just too tight. But you'll have to remember, loose is better. And what I find is that as I started the project, I thought I started too loose, so I started tightening things up, and then it got too tight, and then it was more difficult. And then I loosened up a lot, and then it started being wider than the one at the bottom. But there's ways you can adjust that, and that's what your grid is for, so you can keep an idea of the shape of it. So I'm coming up to the end of my third row. It's a little.
I'm only like a third way down my second row.
That's okay. You're doing great.
Yeah, me too.
So here I am. I'm at the end of my second row or third row. And I'm looking and I'm saying, okay, I've put a stitch right here. I need a stitch right there. And see this big giant hole here where I turn the corner? Don't worry about that. So I've got to put one more stitch in it but you got to be careful that you don't put an extra stitch in it. Otherwise, your project will start getting wider. So there's my last stitch at the end of my third row. And then I've put my chain stitch in it, and I'm going to make 2 more chains and come up. But before I do that, I'm going to take my project and I'm going to lay it on my grid and see if it's still staying the same length. And you could see the ends.
Mine is not.
Let me see. Was that Laura?
Yep.
Let me see.
Skinny to fat.
You got a little fish tail on the end there.
That's what it looks like.
Cute.
I'm not quite sure how you did that, but
yeah, it's like half the length I want it to be, and shit. That's all right.
I'd be happy to spend some time with you alone too, Laura. Does anybody want to know how to start a round one?
The one question I have is, do we just tie a knot when we move to another ball?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have selvage, and I have stuff that's like 2 inches long, and then stuff that's like 1 inch long. So if I want to integrate that, do I have to cut it and tie a knot to, as I go end to end? Okay. I
Sharon?
think I'll just try to master what I'm doing here first.
Sharon, how do you not turn your project? Because I think that that's what I'm doing. I think I'm turning my project because it's kind of being twisted.
So when you come to your next row, make sure that the tail is staying down.
Okay.
And as you go, if you look carefully, you can see the stitches that are right across the top. There's a pattern there. It's like
Yeah.
little loops.
Well, I
Just
can't
right-
see that except right down here. They kind of got messed up. And they got tight.
Okay,
They got tight there.
there's a lot of forgiveness in this project.
Mhm.
You can see, if you look at mine, I've stretched it a little bit this way, like this, to make it rectangular.
Mhm.
Right.
But it's not really, because it's like, see how, if I really put it in shape, this corner's sticking up,
Quite a project.
this corner's sticking up. But when I just take it and I just kind of stretch it square, it kind of just stays where I want it to be.
Sharon,
Yes.
what helped me was, as I'm going down, I think it's my loose ends that were all messing me up. So I kept trying to lay it flat, like I was opening up a braid.
What is
Like
he
a
doing back
braid,
there anyways?
Keep it flat instead of letting it do the
I'm gonna get out of there.
worm you talked about, or the roll up.
So maybe doing it on a table, would that be better, you think?
Maybe.
Right.
It
Instead
just
on
helped
your
me
lap.
kind of stay rectangular.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble, whether I'm doing it too loose or twisting in my fingers,
Yeah.
that kind of helped to stay rectangle
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay.
I love it, Sharon. Thank you so much for your patience.
I would like to see you start a round one too, Sharon.
Okay, well, that's easy. Let's see, I'm going to go to the other end of my selvage here. So round one, I'm going to make a chain stitch or a slip knot to start, just like the other ones. And then I'm going to make a chain stitch of about 4 or 5. There's 5, right? And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to go back to my beginning stitch and I'm going to put my loop through that beginning stitch, and it makes kind of a fluffy ball.
Okay.
And then, now that's my beginning. And then I've got this little loop, just like we're doing with the other ones. I put that loop through.
Okay.
And you can either leave this in there or you can weave it in. I'm going to leave mine out so I know where I started. Now I'm just going to find the next hole that I can find, push that through, and I'm just going to keep going around in a circle like this. So the way I kind of keep track of what I'm doing is I pinch the whole project with my left hand and keep it flat as I'm putting the stitches through.
Come in.
Here's my next stitch.
Come on,
And I like
bud.
these, I like this not to be really twisted. I like it to be,
I'm sorry you missed the end of that.
Oh, yeah, it's okay.
okay. There's my next one. And I just keep going around. And you just keep going around it, around, and pretty soon it's going to be a round blanket or a round rug. See that?
Yep.
So the round one was easier, but as I mentioned, your issue with the round one is if you make it too tight, it's going to cone up on you. And if you make it too loose, it's going to ruffle on you.
Sharon, if it's, sorry,
Oh, Jesus.
we just have two in the room.
Oh, well, is
I thought
Lois's
you muted
muted?
Lois. If you put a chain in between each time you go in the circle, does that help?
No, then you're really going to get a ruffle. You just need to do it loose. It's just a little confusing when you start because it feels like just this ball of knots. And it's okay. You just keep going and it will start taking shape and making sense.
So I'm way back on my second row.
Yes.
I hate to say, but how big of a, when you are making each loop, how big are you making them? I mean, before, when we did the very first row, you said like a 4-finger loop.
Okay,
What is
so
it?
second row,
Yeah,
about that big.
I
You can
can't
just-
really make that out.
You can barely get 3 fingers through the loop.
Okay, okay.
And then,
That's what you would be pulling over and going and pushing through is only 3-finger loop.
okay, so here's my next loop. It's about the same size. You
Yeah.
can see it's about 3 fingers.
Okay,
I'm taking that one, pushing it through this hole.
yeah,
And now
Okay.
I've got a little bit left and I'm putting that through the next hole.
yeah,
And now it's only about a 2-finger loop. I got to manhandle it a little. And then I'm making my next loop, which is about a 3-finger loop.
yeah. I can't see what you're doing because your camera's below your hand. It's
Yeah,
there.
sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So here's my next loop. I'm pushing it through the hole.
Pushing it through.
By the
yeah.
time it gets through the hole, now it's only about a 2-finger loop.
Right.
that?
All right, here.
But then I make another, my selvage is
Now,
tied up here now. I make another 3-finger loop and push that through.
Yeah, okay,
And now I'm going to
Okay.
take that 3-finger loop and I'm going to push it through my next hole.
yeah,
And
Okay.
you can already see mine is starting to do this. It looks like a little nest.
oh, yeah,
So that means I probably started with one too many chain stitches. It makes a nice little nest if you're all about making nests. But I was too loose on my chain stitches, or I put too many chain stitches together. Maybe instead of putting 4 or 5 chain stitches, I only needed like 3, because see, the holes in the middle is pretty big. So I would say if you're going to start a round one, maybe start with 3 and just start going around with that. But even though Diana did hers like this and she kept putting it on her table and checking it, it seemed like it was flat. When you push it down, it's flat. But then as the wieners slept on it for a while, then it turned into this cone hat, which is fine, but.
What are those wieners doing?
Right. Finally got that big lipoma taken off of Maya's belly.
Oh,
That big bump. She had surgery last Wednesday.
man.
You sure had to go to the dog hospital a lot.
Right.
Okay.
That's about I don't know, $13,000-$14,000 worth of vet bills this year.
Yeah.
Jesus.
My kids are less expensive.
Well, they're starting to pay their way, aren't they?
Yes, White's paying his rent. Marina came over and spent the night last night. That was really fun.
Uh-huh.
Of course, we had to sit around with our masks on all night, but that was okay. Because, you know.
Yeah, I heard there was a big run on toilet paper today.
Yeah, it wasn't me. I didn't do it.
No, not me either.
I got mine back in February before the whole thing blew up.
There was, that's been coming on the last week because I've had to make multiple trips to Costco, and I'd go and there wouldn't be any. And so the next time I'd go, I'd buy one. And 'cause I'm buying for me, and I'm buying for my parents. And then I went for them. And then I went and they were out, and I went back again. And then they had Charmin, which is the preferred toilet paper in Anacortes. So I bought Charmin. And so I have the pack of Charmin in my garage tool room right now.
Right.
And I settled for just the Costco brand. So there you go.
Monica, how's yours coming?
I have the basic concept. Here's my thing.
I like it. It's looking good.
Yeah, I think so. My corner, is this correct?
Yes, that looks good.
So yeah, I just have to make sure I pay attention to which way I'm going, and then I think I'll be fine. But yeah, I think I tried to.
Even if you go the wrong direction at one time, like you probably won't notice.
Yeah. So yeah, I just have to stay focused because I've been twisting it around and it confuses me, of course. So, but I think I have it.
Let me see yours, Melissa. I got 2 Melissas. Melissa Pate, let me see yours. Are you making
this
a round
is
one?
fucking up. Big time.
You're not muted.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Michelle, I can't unmute people. Could you unmute Melissa Pate?
Sure. Here. What you have to do is you ask them to unmute. So,
Oh, Melissa Pate, would you unmute? You're not, I can't hear you. You're muted. Click on something. There you go.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Let me see what you got.
This is my round one. I have two. They're all connected together. I'm taking them all apart later, but
Right, just so you
Yeah.
can get the concept.
right. So here's the one. Put it through there. And then,
I think you're way too loose, Melissa.
am I? Because it's starting to kind of get tight. So I was kind of concerned about.
Yeah, I think you're gonna find that it takes a while to figure out the balance between being too tight and being too loose.
Yeah.
Be easy on yourself. And if it is this wonderfully loose, tight creation, it's a work of art. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking it.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a tribble. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love the colors. They're
Yeah. Or a hat,
Yeah, there you go.
the beret.
Beret, yeah. It's fun though. I'm enjoying it.
Even if you did a couple rows, yours looks like a beautiful scarf, Melissa.
I
Yeah,
did
I
2 rows. So this is 2 rows. Now I'm at the end and I'm like, oh my God, now what
That's
do
exciting.
I do?
Okay, now you're gonna make 2 chain stitches.
Okay, so I got this one and now I'm gonna bring this in
Right?
through.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, now make 1 more.
Well, that is kind of 2 chain stitches. One and then the next one
Now make 1 more.
and another one. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I should tighten that up just a wee bit.
Okay.
These are thick rugs. They're going to be
Yes.
thick rugs.
Very thick.
Really thick. Yeah.
Okay. Second
That's-
one.
That's why when we talked in our first class, Melissa, we talked about size.
Uh,
These, if you want to wash this and you hand wash it, you're not going to put it in the dryer. If you do, you can, but it will shrink because it's 100% wool.
well,
And then second part is it will felt if you put it in the dryer. So
Oh.
the little pieces of yarn, these pieces of yarn are twined around each other. They'll come untwined and they'll turn fuzzy, but then they'll felt like, and it'll look like the whole thing has little miniature dreadlocks,
Oh, no.
which is okay if you like that look. But
You like the
like
look.
the fluffy look better. And so if you like the fluffy look, then after you wash it in cold water, you're going to block it, roll it in a towel, and then set it out to dry. But if it's so thick and huge, first of all, I could barely lift the 24-inch round one when it came out of the washer. It was heavy. So this is why I would recommend not making a 3 by 5 foot rug out of it.
Mhm.
Because if you ever have to wash it, it's just really difficult to dry. Okay, Melissa, you got your
I
chain
did
stitches?
this. There's the second one. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
So now,
when you hold your project, you've turned the corner, hold your project, make sure the tail is down.
I can't tell which end's your tail.
Oh, you're at the end of the first. Make sure the end you
Oh,
started
okay.
with is down, and you're going to turn your project. And I'm going to get caught up to you here, okay? I'm going to put in 1, 2 chain stitches. Okay, now I have this loop, and I know my project looks like this, and the tail end is down, so I know I'm working on the top edge of it. I'm going to skip essentially the first place I could put a loop, and I'm going to put this through the second place I could put a loop. So it's like you skip
Okay.
over 1 stitch. Now let me see. It should look like this. That looks good. That's perfect. So now I'm going to take this and make a loop and put it through that hole. Now this is the loop I'm dealing with. This is the loop I'm going to find the next hole and put it through.
Got it.
And I'm just going to keep going down my row like that. And see the
Okay.
corner that it's made? It looks kind of funky. But
Yeah, I do. I
now,
hope I remember how to do that next time.
so Laura, here's some interesting things. Let's say one end looks much fatter than the other, right? You can put like an extra stitch in there, or put your stitches closer together so that it'll make it fatter. And then it'll even itself out. I even got to one point where my rug looked like this is an over dramatization, but it looked like this, right? It was skinny on one end and fat on the other.
Oh, okay.
So I was up here, I started going down this way, and I put a couple of short rows over here that made it fatter on the side that it was too skinny on. And then at one time I decided, oh, it looks nice, but I wish I would have made it wider. So guess what I did? I got to the corner, and instead of looping around and going back this way, I put an extra chain stitch and I went around the corner this way, and I just went around my whole entire rug until I got back to where I started. Then I started going back and forth again.
Sharon, couldn't you kind of do that with the round one too? If you felt it getting kind of tight or hatty, you could put an extra stitch in it, and so it would kind of loosen it up a little.
Yes.
Yeah.
Suzanne, how's yours looking? You got to unmute. I can't hear you.
Okay.
That looks good.
It does?
Yes.
Okay. I can't tell whether I'm going the right way, but I guess I am. I'm at the end. So could you repeat the chain stitch again?
The corner?
Yeah, the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
After you put your last stitch in the corner, then you're going to put 2 chain stitches in, and then you're going to turn your project around just like you would with crocheting.
Okay. 1, 2.
Now, the end of that loop, you're not going to put it in the first place you could put a hole, which would be the chain or the single crochet underneath it. You're going to go in 1 stitch, 1 full stitch.
Okay.
So instead of putting it right here, there's my end. I'm not going to put it there. I'm going to put it, this is so tight I can't even get my finger through it. I'm going to put it right there.
Okay.
Lois, how's yours coming?
I don't know. Let's see.
Oh, she's muted. I can't hear her.
I just asked her to unmute. There we go. There you go.
There you are. I can hear you now.
Okay, I'm just still chaining. I haven't got it.
How long are you making this thing?
When did it?
I undid what I had, and I made it. Now it's too long.
Ah,
So I guess I gotta take it out.
take some out. Yeah. Wow, Michelle. Look at
Yeah.
Michelle's.
But I've got,
Oh my God.
I have to do what you suggested, you know, on the end to tighten up one of these ends because it was looking,
Right?
maybe I just need to stretch it out,
Yeah.
put it on the deal. I just have been doing it
There you go.
because I love imperfection. It really loves me.
Who knew?
I know. After, you know, teaching myself to knit, and then I would rip it out half the time and start again. This is a lot more fun.
Is that
Oh, where are you gonna put it? That would be the size of a doorway. Be in front of your sink.
Katie,
Yeah.
how's yours coming?
yeah?
Was that Katie?
Yeah.
Here's,
Oh, pretty. Yours has really long fringe on it.
oh, does it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a lot longer than most of ours. Look at how long my fringe is.
oh, yeah, okay.
This is like twice as wide.
Well, this is what it's like.
Yeah, that's twice as wide as mine.
Is it? Okay.
Because
Yeah, it's,
mine is about 1.5 inches wide. I think yours is more like 2.5.
yeah, yeah, I guess so. Some of it is. I was thinking, you know, something that I meant to do between last week and this week was to like go to the Pendleton Mills website and just try to find the rug that maybe it looks like my selvages were taken off of, you know, to see the real thing.
Right? I
mean,
went on a tour of the mill while I was down there. And it was
Right.
very fascinating. It's really loud in there and it's very humid because they have to keep it really humid. I can't remember whether it's to keep the wool stretched out or to keep the fibers out of the air. I think it's to keep the fibers out of the air.
Oh, yeah. God, Bev would probably have an anaphylactic reaction if she went in there.
Probably.
Wow.
Melissa, I like it. I like that look.
Let's see Melissa's.
Yeah.
This Melissa.
I've got a
Melissa
scarf
Page.
and a hat.
Yes, you do.
Oh, nice. It looks,
Oh my God.
looks sort of Toulouse-Lautrec or something.
What show was I watching? I think it was Queen's Gambit or something.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Love
hey.
that show.
Oh, I heard that's good.
Yes,
Oh,
it was very,
Michelle
very
was
good.
talking about that.
It's really good.
Marina and I were talking about it last night. She said, I think it's one of the best miniseries I've ever seen. She said the gal was also, what did she star in? I can't remember what she told me. She starred in something else. She
Yeah.
said, don't you know she was in this show? And I was like, no.
Mhm.
But is that a Netflix?
Yes. It's called The Queen's Gambit.
Yeah.
And I think it was that show. We've been watching so much stuff lately, but this gal came on with this hat, and it was the most ridiculous hat I've ever seen. What show was that?
Like with birds' nests in it or something?
Something like that. It was just, I was just like, oh, did they really wear things like that out in public?
Well, that whole craze for those huge feathers practically wiped out a lot of bird species.
I believe it.
Yeah.
So for the round ones, how do you keep it from being a hat? Do you just have to really super do it loose?
Well, if you do it super loose, then you're going to end up with a ruffled blanket.
Okay. So it's kind of have to
It's gotta
be a balance.
It's got to be consistent. Yeah.
Okay.
I just couldn't manage that consistency. That's why I didn't want to try to teach you how to do it because I couldn't figure out how to do it myself. I watched Diana do it and I was just like, oh no, I'm gonna end up with a hat that looks like it's one of those Salish native hats that they wove,
Oh, yeah.
they wove to keep the rain off of your.
Well,
Out of-
it stayed pretty flat. It's a little, a little bit hatty, but it stayed fairly flat. I could
think you'll
see.
be okay.
I think if I rip it out and redo it and, really pay attention, to it, I think I could get it pretty
I
flat.
think you could too. And you got to consider too, if we would have kept ours flat on the floor, it might have stayed more flat, but it was
Yeah.
sitting in a dog bed that was concave. And so as the dogs laid on it, I think it became more and more concave because it stretched that way.
That makes sense.
Hmm.
They like it as a bed?
They loved it.
Yeah. Did
My
you
little
line
dog
it with
didn't.
anything?
They what?
Did you line it with anything?
No, they just like to lay on the fluffy part.
Yeah.
That's why I end up throwing it away because I washed it a couple of times and I just thought, oh, it gets covered with dog hair. You've got to be able to wash your beds.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the best choice for dog bed.
Yeah, my little dog's on the last little pile that I need to trim.
Uh-huh.
He found it again.
We ended up, Diana's been watching this dog behavior program and it talked about, because, Frankie is just kind of, she attacks Maya all the time and she's very possessive and jealous, but she's also very codependent and needy. And it was saying that one of the ways you can get away from that is to, number one, get him out of your bed. And number two, don't let him sit on your lap when you're like watching TV and stuff. And so we started by moving the weaners off into their own dog bed. And the secret was putting a heating pad in it because that's why they want to sit on our laps because they're cold.
Yeah.
Right.
So we put the heating pad on it. And now anytime they want to get up on our laps, we're like, no, go lay in your bed. And they do. We haven't kicked them out of our bed yet because Hank's in the house. But we're planning on doing that next. But I have to get the 140-pound dog out of the house first. And he'll be inside till after Christmas.
Oh.
He's still limping around.
I put nice beds around the floor in the bedroom, and the big dog, I make the big dog start out in the bed. And then about 5 a.m, he kind of slinks up, wants to get up there. But Lucky Dog has taken to laying in a bed on the floor, which I'm delighted about. So, but then they climb this. He gets up there again, before I get up. So.
Okay. Well, I think I have the idea. I'm just going to have to do it, right?
Okay, I'm back. I wanted to show you a picture that makes me very happy. Where's Vicky? She didn't show up in any of our classes. She just sent me the money for the class.
She picked up her salvage. It was gone one day.
Okay, I'm hoping you can see this. This is what Wyatt got last night.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, how wonderful.
How cute.
He said it reminds him so much of Haley. Watch this video. This is so cute. Yeah, watch the dog.
Yeah,
Aww.
perfect.
Aww.
Yeah.
Is it a rescue?
Yes.
Nice.
Look at her smiling. Yeah, she's
so cute.
So, yeah, his girlfriend Annabelle works at a vet's office, and somebody was
Oh.
surrendering their 1-year-old golden retriever. She's never had shots and she hasn't been spayed or anything, but Annabelle gets a discount. So they're going to take her and get her all fixed up. But now these 2 kids are living out in that 400 square foot tiny house with 2 dogs,
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
right?
Good for them.
They got a big yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do have a big yard. Throw them out.
I got alert from the Everett Animal Shelter today. They had a whole bunch of animals they rescued.
I think
Rabbit,
I heard about that.
cats, chicken,
Oh,
and they were soliciting for funds to take care of them, but it was a
it like
variety of animals. So
like a hoarding kind of thing?
I don't know where they rescued them from, but it sounded pretty dreadful. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we have another class, Sharon, one more for finishing, or?
Yeah, we're gonna do one more in December so that everybody can show their finished projects and to finish off your ends. I can tell you this end, right? So here's the tail end. All you have to do, is everybody watching?
Yeah.
Take this tail end and you're just gonna find holes for it and weave it back and forth
Oh.
through the bottom,
Yeah.
and it will magically disappear.
Very cool.
So, or you can back and forth, make it go around if you need to. And just like that, it's gone.
Cool.
Nice.
And there's no stitching involved or anything like that, right?
Nope,
Right on.
nope. If
I'm
it's
finding that my loops are like this big. Can you see that?
It's a little big, but
Well, but what I'm finding is when I'm going down my second row and weaving it in to connect it, that it gets too short.
yeah.
Is that normal?
Well, then maybe you should make them just a little bit longer.
You think?
Yeah.
I keep trying. Okay.
It takes a little while to get the technique down.
Yeah.
I'm certainly no expert. I've only ever made this one blanket.
Sharon, I just finished my 3rd row and I'm turning the corner. I did 2 extra loops.
Uh-huh.
And now,
yeah,
I didn't memorize what I do.
Okay, you're gonna turn around and go back to the top of the row you just finished, and you're gonna
Yep.
go in, you're gonna skip the first hole, and you're gonna put that in the second
First
hole.
hole.
You're
Okay.
gonna
there's
skip
the
that
first-
one. And you're gonna go to the next hole.
There it is. Okay. And I'm looping that in. And okay, I think I have it. By Jib, I think I got it.
Got it.
Have any of you guys watched The Crown?
I watched
No.
the first
The
couple.
Crown?
I had to force myself to turn it off last night because otherwise I would have kept going.
Yeah, I'm watching it too.
Yeah.
Sorry,
so-
season 4.
Helen Mary.
You know, I really like the Royals less this time.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's my opinion.
yeah. Especially the whole Diana debacle.
The first couple ones, I'm kind of like, oh, I felt kind of for them before, and now I'm not so sure. So,
I don't think I've watched that one. I think I'm thinking of that other one that was the history of
Yeah, that one's good too.
Queen Elizabeth,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Rain. Have you seen Rain on Netflix? That's the Queen
Oh, yes.
of England. That one. I
Yeah.
love that one.
Yeah, I like that one. I love that actress.
Was that Queen Mary?
Was
Yeah.
Queen Mary of Scots.
Yeah.
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 I
Well,
love
if you haven't seen The Crown, Sharon, it's a really good series.
It's worth seeing.
It's,
Really
it is worth it, totally. Oh.
Yeah.
Is that the one with Helen Mirren?
Well,
No.
no,
No.
no. This one starts out. Each season they have,
Russia.
as Queen Elizabeth gets older, they changed who was in the lead. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
And it just started the 4th season. So
Yeah.
it's on Netflix. I've enjoyed it. I could hardly wait for the season to be released. But, I also like the Maldorians. So I've got a multiple set of genres I like.
That's the one with Baby Yoga, right?
Yeah, Baby Yoda. Yeah.
The Mandalorian.
That one.
The Mandalorian. I love
Yeah.
it.
I was just thinking last night, I have some Mandalorian material and I have some Baby Yoda material.
Oh,
I
you
could make
do?
a Mandalorian mask lined with Baby Yoda.
Oh,
Oh,
that would be cool.
That would be very good.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
Well,
I'm working on a big project right now for, Diana just went back to work yesterday, but I'm making a tremendous amount of Christmas fabric masks for the hospital employees.
Oh,
That's
nice.
a great idea.
Yeah, so she's gonna get to go and play Santa. She loves going and giving away the free masks. I really like this design. Can you see that? Pretty
Oh, nice.
kind of lavender.
No, try showing it again. It looked like I was seeing through the material and kind of blurry.
oh, that's pretty. Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, that is pretty.
Mauve.
That's kind of classy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I put different color edges on them and then
Mhm.
a bunch of them that look like, you can't really see the design because it's got the ends on it.
oh, that's cute.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cute.
And it's got a little metallic on
Sharon?
'em. Yes.
Can you hold it up a little longer because whoever's speaking comes up on my picture and I've missed them. A little bit higher. I saw it at first, but I'm seeing Melissa.
Oh, I'll mute.
I'll
There.
find you.
That'll help.
There.
There you are. They're beautiful, Sharon. Gorgeous.
It actually has a little bit of gold on it, like metallic.
Cute.
Pretty.
Diana said, I'm not taking them in until after the weekend after Thanksgiving. And I said, people will wear them before Thanksgiving. She said, I don't want to think about Christmas before Thanksgiving. And I said,
Yeah,
you should give
I
them
get it.
so they have them and they could start wearing them because she doesn't see everybody every week, So I said, okay, take them in next weekend.
Yeah, there's the argument about when do you start doing Christmas.
The trend is to put your tree up now. So,
What?
yeah, I know so many people that have put their tree up.
Oh my God.
In fact, I'm going to join them probably because what the hey?
Yeah.
What
So
the hey?
months you get to enjoy it.
Right.
Unless you do till after New Year's.
We won't judge you.
Well, do you have
Not
a-
at all.
You have you have an artificial tree, right, Michelle?
I do. I also have a stand
Uh.
for a live one, but I'll put the artificial one up and probably just not put any ornaments on it till after Thanksgiving. So
Ah, there you go. Whatever.
now if I
People
was,
do whatever they want except congregate too close together. That's what I'd say.
yeah,
I knew a woman one time and what she did every year is she took her artificial tree with her decorations on it And she took saran wrap and completely wrapped the entire tree and stuck it into storage. And then the next year she pulled it out, pulled the saran wrap off, used it, put the saran wrap back on it. Every year she did the same thing.
Well, I did wrap mine with cling wrap or saran wrap because I stored it underneath the house here, you know, in a crawl space type. And so I have to take that off, but I never thought about leaving any ornaments on
Yeah,
it.
she left all the ornaments on hers.
That's great. That's
Because
smart.
Mine, I put the birds on it, so that probably wouldn't work too well.
My luck, I'd do that, I'd find a bunch of rats' nests in it. I've got such a rodent problem here at the farm right now, out in the barns.
Yeah.
It's tough. They all came in for the winter. I went out there last night to get something out of the barn. I opened up the door and 2 rats ran right in front of me.
No.
But
that would be disconcerting.
We're in the country.
Yeah.
Well,
and there's rodents that live in the country. When I go out and I mow the fields, literally the mice just run because that's where they live.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear noises in the walls at night sometimes.
Did you hear about the time that I heard something in the kitchen? This was a couple of years ago when we first moved in. I think it was the first summer. And I came out and I saw the cat was way up on the top of the counter or up on top of the cupboard. And I looked around the corner because he was looking at something. And up on the wood, there was a flying squirrel.
Oh, wow. That's,
they're nocturnal.
Wow. Yeah.
They got big, giant brown eyes.
That,
and they got skin, you know.
Yeah. That's just amazing that because you don't have that many, you know, linked together big trees around, right around your house. I
didn't know we had flying squirrels. And
I know, I didn't either until I saw this flying squirrel running across the top of bat. I'm positive because I had to get Diana out of bed at 2:30 in the morning, and then we spent the next half an hour doing flying squirrel rodeo in the kitchen.
I love it.
And I got him.
I got
him. Okay, Suzanne, good night. I got him all the way to the windowsill, and he was on the windowsill, ready to jump out the window. And I tried to push him with the broom, and he jumped back in and then ran up the other cupboard and ran across. And yeah, it was.
That's wild.
I finally I put on some leather gloves, and I finally caught him with the leather gloves, and then opened up the window and threw him out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fly off into the.
Yes, he did.
Wow, that's so crazy.
Spread his wings and flew away.
I guess I call Pest Northwest is usually my go-to option.
There's no way.
Because I live on the gulch now, and there's rats so that come up through all that. So but there was a couple of baby ones that I saw, and that kind of threw me for a moment because I didn't, I was just kind of wanting to shoo them over the edge, not, I didn't want them to hurt. So,
you must have lost your way, Mr. Ratty.
He looked so damn cute. That was the problem. So
yeah.
But I generally go in for pest control service.
I can't poison them because we've got barn cats, and that's their job.
I know. Yeah.
Well, you put out traps. That's what we've started doing again. When we had a cat in the house, we didn't have a problem, but our Smush, was an outside, sometimes outside, so he would keep down the population a little bit.
And that was Diana doing a drive-by. She said hi. She just got home from work.
Hi, Diana.
There's Melissa Pate's on here, and Melissa Hogler too.
Hi, Diana.
Diana says hi to everyone.
Did she change her hair?
She's growing it because that she can't get regular haircuts. So she's got a boho bandana thing holding her head back, holding her hair back.
She looks like she has really light hair.
No, that's her band. That's her boho headband.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's really long. compared
She
to where
just
I see.
actually just got it cut. It was a lot longer than that.
Oh,
But
really?
I think it's the first haircut she's got since the beginning of COVID. So it'd been growing out for 7-8 months.
Wow.
It was getting really long.
Michelle, can I see your rug?
I'm
Wow.
trying to fix
We're almost
it now.
finished.
I
That's
got,
beautiful and it's huge.
I'm gonna go around the edges and see if I can't square it up. a
Fill,
little more.
fill it in, yeah.
Yeah.
Looks great.
You want to see Michelle's rug?
Sharon,
Fun. I'm
Michelle, show Diana. Michelle.
gonna do one small one like this and then do another one. That's my game. Hi,
Diana.
There's Melissa up there. Melissa Pate. Diana can't see you.
Oh,
Oh, look at that. Nice. There's Steve.
sitting there.
Pretty. Show yours, Melissa. Little caterpillar.
Very nice. Yours looks
Now-
like roses. Looks like
how
little
do I
roses.
end it, Sharon? Because I thought this would be in front of the sink or a door,
Yeah,
like at the base of a door.
right.
But if I go in a couple more rows, it's going to be too heavy to wash.
Yeah. So just make it skinny.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't make it any wider than that if you're
10
gonna.
or 12 inches.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how I should wrap up the corner.
Okay, so if the way you're gonna finish is you get to the corner, right?
Mhm.
And you've got your last loop there. And then you're gonna take and you're gonna cut it right about here. And then you will take that end, you'll put it through this loop, the last loop. So you'll cut it, put it through this last loop, and then pull that tight, and then take your end, your tail, and just weave it back through across the top. That's how you finish. Okay, you guys, I think I'm gonna wrap up for the night.
Yeah. then-
Well, thank you so much, Sharon.
Yep, and if anybody if you get stuck, just text me and we can meet here at any time and we can talk about
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Good night. Thank you.
Hey, love to all of you. If I don't talk to you before Thanksgiving,
to
have
see
a
you
happy
all.
Thanksgiving.